still, even though that's not, you know what I mean? He's been farming that, and even though it's dry land, he plants it, and keeps care of it. That's the only thing I think he'll still do it. I think there's enough room, he'll still do something with it. But if you put 3 acres to them, are they gonna continue with anything outside that building?
I'm not gonna do anything within the confines of the building.
No, I know.
That's it. So, read this from this meeting that I just went to yesterday.
You're gonna do the
All right.
one we always have to do.
What's next? Oh,
That's the document that's signed and recorded.
Now, what was
I
it?
gave my top sheet away
This is the
yesterday.
information I got yesterday for dissolution of fire districts.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think he has to do anything.
I gave it for this intent to the fair board.
All right.
That's all we have on our
Anything else?
agenda, but I would like to, I guess, go back and revisit the Hoke property on Rodell. We discussed that last summer. He had his 3-acre parcel zoned heavy industrial. He had all of his business and stuff stored there, and then he decided to move it onto the ag land and sell the property out from under himself. Went through P&Z twice to subdivide and get rezoned for more heavy industrial, and it was denied twice. And he still has all his junk out there, so that's the top of our list to have that addressed. I emailed him again last week, no response. So I don't know if the attorney needs to send him a letter or what the next course of action is.
I responded to your email when I seen all that stuff, and my response publicly, I'll state it here, is to Stephen, get on it, get the letter sent out, and let's get this thing moving forward. I've been after this now that we have a full attorney staff, is to start getting these things and start getting this ball rolling again. We took a pretty long, which is reasonable because we didn't have the staff. But now that we're ready, now we need to get back going on it. So if that was the top of your priority, then get it moving along. That's
Okay.
my opinion. That's one.
Yeah.
I'm one of 3. So
I agree.
unless you guys feel something different.
One thing I'll add is, you know, Don and I have worked together. We've come up with our sort of like template format for this. Basically, a notice of violation letter, and those are actually sent by Don. So we'll get together. We've already got one sort of being finalized on a different property, but you know, we're working on that, and that's something that we'll continue to work on.
Yeah.
Get that moving.
I think we've made the decision, once you have the top 3, the list established, then get it to Stephen and get it moving. I don't think
Okay.
they have to continue to keep coming in front of us until we need to make a decision. I think our decision has been made. Give them the list and let's get going.
Fair enough.
Anything else to add, Commissioner?
No.
I mean,
we didn't.
we've done, and this will probably be a topic of information or conversation tonight, but, you know, we're trying to help the people of the county get things cleaned up and picked up, and we've even waived fees at the landfill for them to do that. It's maybe a conversation we need to have again, or do the vouchers or whatever we did, I can't remember, but this is not stuff that would obviously be going to the landfill. This would be industrial cleanup. So, okay.
Correct. All right, that's all I've got.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do I have any public comment today? Okay, well then, I will pass right by the public comment session, and I'm gonna go straight into our janitorial needs, which is new business. Come on down, Dustin. What are your recommendations today?
We had our janitorial walkthrough. We had more bids than usual with that bid net. The low bids are highlighted in yellow, and that would be my recommendation.
Pretty
You
straightforward.
want to break this out individually or just do it as a whole?
I would just say as recommended, as
Is
highlighted.
it- Where is this compared to last year? How much are we?
I
Per-
think we're pretty close.
Per each, if you could get that information back to us, I
Yeah.
appreciate it, Dustin. It's a fair question.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean,
Just email it to,
Yeah, just email it to us.
okay.
Yeah. And if you could have it to us before the end of the day, because it may be a conversation piece for tonight.
Yeah, I can have that.
Okay. Go ahead.
I would so move we accept the bids for janitorial services from Montezuma County as presented.
second.
Been moved and seconded to accept the 2026 Montezuma County janitorial services as presented. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, there you go, sir.
All right, thank you.
Anything else?
You know, my report?
Well, sure. You're right there.
Okay.
Let's get it all done at one time.
Well, we finished up the HVAC installs for this year. The coroner was the last building. Then we got that gas line replaced over at Annex 3, and it's operational now, and the generator's finished up. We're still working in the jail on that shower and just kind of cleaning up the place project. We're getting ready for winter. We blew out all the irrigation already, and we got 3 pallets of ice melt just in case. And then we did our janitorial walkthrough last week, which you just approved, so.
Okay. Do you see any large deficiencies that we need to start addressing specifically on the structures?
There's some stucco repair on a few of the buildings. Well, probably like Annex 1 and Annex 3, there's a few spots that looks like need at least addressed. I don't know if we need to look at redoing all of it or just spot doing it.
Okay.
And then, roofs have all pretty well been replaced in the last few years, so they're not in too bad a shape. Parking area we're looking at for in the next year or two.
What about all of our ductwork inspections and cleaning on all of those and all of the facilities?
We haven't really done but one building, but we can schedule that and work that into next year. At least
mean-
get them all cleaned once and then start.
Well, at least have them my opinion is we at least get them inspected annually
Okay.
or or every 2 years. I can't remember what the recommendation was, but
2 years.
every 2 years,
two.
I would try and put them on some kind of a schedule to at least get them inspected, and then at that point in time, if we need to get them clean, then do so. But if we don't do it and stay on top of it, we'll be behind the curve.
Okay.
So kind of just get with Travis and make sure, and just start at the biggest building to the littlest building, but get them done to make sure that we're
Okay.
making sure that everything is good.
Especially the ones at the jail.
Okay?
All right.
All right.
Thank
I
you.
think, Commissioners, once we get this assessment done on the structural assessment, that'll give us a starting point of what we
Okay.
need to do, either yearly, 2 years, 5-year maintenance schedules, so that'll give us a starting point.
Yeah, but I think this is more critical right now because we have the HVAC unit running. This is something that we can just go ahead and do. The structural components of the facilities is something added on to that, but yeah, I would like to see that, get the inspections done, and then if there's any deficiencies, make sure that we correct them.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dustin. All right, who has the resolution? Stephen?
Yes. Commissioners, I guess big picture first, there's probably going to be a couple other resolutions similar to this one related to various pieces of legislation that we may have addressed, which in this case we did earlier this year. but there is a requirement often in these kinds of things for the board to take some kind of an action. So this particular resolution is responsive to this bill that was passed about sort of Colorado, I would say, kind of establishing a like a master EV charger code for how they want EV chargers to be permitted throughout the state. There were 3 ways the county could deal with this. When we had discussed it previously, the board desired to opt out of adopting the EV charger code and just continuing to use our existing permitting process. And so that's what this proposed resolution is. It just says, this law was passed, the electric vehicle charging system permits law, Colorado Senate Bill 241173. Montezuma County is a covered entity under the code. There are the 3 options that the county could take, and that this is an unfunded mandate, and that we have a land use code that has a high impact review process that could evaluate proposals for electric vehicle charging stations, and therefore Montezuma County does not intend to adopt the EV charger model code or the standards and administrative review process required by the act, but will instead continue to utilize the existing review process in the land use code. And then we would send this up to the state and just let them know basically this is the board's action on this item.
Okay. Go ahead, sir.
I move to approve resolution number 21/2025, a resolution opting out of the requirements of the EV charger code created by House Bill 24-1173.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to accept resolution number 21/2025, a resolution opting out of the requirements of the EV charging code created by House Bill 24-1173. Is there any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. All right, next up we have our department reports, and assessor, you are top of the list. Turn that microphone on, pull it close to your mouth, and take it away.
Morning.
Good morning.
So, I guess the assessor's office is pretty much just business as usual. We did have an Eagle View, a short class last week. We got to mess around in our new pictures and move stuff around. We did, I think Doug got the parcel data to Eagle View to be able to put the overlay for the parcels on so we can actually see what we're looking at, make it a little easier for us. We are going to probably I would say within the next couple weeks, I'll be using that in the office for our new findings. I did talk to Kinder Morgan last week. The conversation was started on a different subject, but it was brought up that they are seeing a 10% decrease in their production for this year, which will be reported for 26 monies in 27. So that's just something to think about. They do believe they're going to be down about 10% from what we're at right now. So we were 11% down for 25, and they're thinking another 10% down for
Correct.
26.
And when I got that information, I asked Travis, I'm like, what's the cost point? Because are they, again, getting more for what they're producing, or is it dropping also? Because that's directly is going to affect us.
Yeah.
I mean, the
cost
10%,
point,
when I got the call from Commissioner Stiasny from Dolores County about the other business closing it down and shutting its doors, I mean, it starts becoming concerning, because that just means that the blocks are starting to fall.
Well, they're
So-
still producing and still sending it down to West Texas, but what I've been told is that the reserves are so large in West Texas that they're just not bringing much down there
So there's
anymore.
no demand. So
Yes.
their cost point, is it dropping, or is the cost point staying the same, because that's
I
what's going
don't
to
know
affect
for this year.
us.
I don't know that.
Okay,
I don't. But until they start producing oil again and
Yep.
needing to have it for the downhole situation, there's no need for it.
so there's no
They're
demand.
just storing it.
They're recovering and reusing it.
Yeah,
That's what they're doing.
recycled.
So,
Okay,
not good news for us, but it is what it is. I mean.
yeah.
We sent out special notices of value for any accounts that had a change in value from May, that being splits, new maps, abatement, anything that had a value change, those notices went out. So they'll have a 30-day protest within our office. Those don't come to you guys for a CBOE hearing. They'll have the option to do an abatement next year in 2026 if they don't like what we decide for them. But other than that, we're pretty much on schedule for all the end of the year stuff.
Okay,
Just business as usual.
questions for Leslie?
No.
Okay,
We will be doing some little checks throughout the county once we get our Eagle View up and running. Just kind of looking at buildings, making sure we're, and that's one thing I need to ask you guys too, is if we do find stuff, are we going back 2 years? Or are we putting them on for current years? That's something,
the statute says 2 years.
statute says 2 years. We've always, I have come to you and asked if we wanted to start going back, and I have been going back. I just didn't know if we were gonna go back on a big scale like we're getting ready to do. If we find, multiple, are we gonna go back on 2 years on all of these people, or are we just gonna go forward?
Well, my concern is just like the last one that we had in here, a guy was 20 years.
20 years.
Deficient, which is concerning.
Yes,
I say we stay with the statute and follow the statute, and then we're,
Treat everybody the same.
everybody's
Yep.
the same. I say if we get outside of that, then we're not being consistent and fair.
okay,
So follow the statute.
okay.
That's my opinion. Sounds like that's yours,
No, I-
Commissioner. That way it's all
As long as
equal.
we treat everybody the same.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, 2 years it is. I think that's it for me, unless you guys have questions.
Not, well, actually sit right there. Doug, do you want to come on down? Is there anything that might cross? Just while I have you both here. In case.
Not really. I mean, like Leslie said, if you notice, we got on our public map viewer, the 25 imagery a couple weeks ago, deployed that out. Looks good, in general, you like to see that leaf off window. However, it's high resolution enough from what I've seen that kind of overcomes it. And it would really be impossible to get leaf off in town and then snow free up in the mountains as well. So the imagery looks good. The shadows look good. It's great, yeah. As far as that goes, from what I see, so.
Okay.
Cows and tires so far, right?
Oh, yeah, we're seeing, you can see a lot of stuff out there. And it is, it's definitely the highest resolution countywide imagery that we've had, so, good product. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Very good. What else do you have for us, Doug?
Not much. I just had a project with the 911 where we use our road center lines for a lot of things, not just labeling roads. Also, the status of road, is it red, green, is it a public road, but also address ranges. And we discovered that with the way that dispatch works, and they're now using our address locator, that it wasn't mapping all the intersections correctly, and we had to make sure that every single road was split at intersections so that when they call in intersections, that those would actually locate on the address locator. So that was a pretty big project. Took us a few weeks to go through all the road layer to make sure that feature worked across Montezuma County and Dolores County. We also made sure that worked in our whole PSAP area. Other than that, things are just looking good, moving along. I think lots of plats are still getting processed, for sure. So Nolan's busy, and things are going well. We're putting up a few new road signs, a couple new subdivisions going in, and some red road sign replacements, so we're gonna get that done before winter. And that's about it.
Do you have an idea off the top of your head how many vacant lots that we have out there for sale?
We haven't revised that in a few years, because the number was pretty large.
Yeah.
Although I think, Leslie can attest, we're up looking at some signage in the Pinion Hill subdivision, and there's about 6 new homes, currently being built up there. It's pretty impressive, the number of homes that are being built and put in. Cedar Mesa's getting pretty well built out. So those subdivisions that we know were platted 20 years ago,
Yeah.
some stuff is getting built out, but some new subdivisions are also coming online, like the one that's on the south side of 25 before you hit 184. That's going to be a loop subdivision. They're just getting that road built. So I don't have an exact number, but
I have that information that you sent to us. I can send it to you, Commissioner. 'cause I'd
there were
asked
so
that same
many that
question.
we would have to have a pretty big boom to fill in.
But a lot of those that are platted are not,
Yeah.
they're just on a piece of paper. They're not developed. There's no roads, there's no infrastructure, there's nothing. When I started looking at it on the
Some of
lots,
them.
yeah, some of them are
Some
just
of them.
paper.
We also have that subdivision up 26, before you hit 184, where that individual, it's on the west side of 26, that individual's putting in their modular units up there at a pretty good clip and selling those off. So, there is a demand.
3 last month.
Yeah.
In that subdivision.
Yeah, they're getting it done.
He
So,
does a great job too.
yeah, for sure. So that is,
And then there's always the people that buy the big land and never develop it.
Right.
Sit on it for
yeah,
ever. Whenever it gets developed.
but things are happening. It seems like there's a housing need that's being met on a range of different levels, so.
We are still seeing a lot of sales, a lot of high sales.
mm.
Ag land is selling large parcels of ag land. Selling, and then, just you can tell from the address of the owners, it's not for ag use, so.
Okay. Very good. Anything else from either one of you guys? Okay. Questions, Commissioner?
No.
Okay. Thank you both. Appreciate it. I have nothing from IT, so there will be no IT report. So vehicle maintenance, come on down. Good morning.
So Cole is very busy getting snowplows ready, so I will make him come next time. But I volunteered to come for him today. So he's been working on the snowplows. A lot of them are still old. A lot of them take a lot of welding and stuff to get ready for the season. Fleet maintenance has been busy. He's been helping MoCo with a lot. They've had some inspections, state inspections this month and stuff, so he's been helping with that. We decommissioned 1903 and got it ready to go to the assessors. So it was delivered over there yesterday, and they turned in the other Ford that they had. It kept not satisfying them. It kept breaking down, vapor locking something on them, so they turned it back in.
Which was that one?
One of the old sheriff's cars.
One of the old
that
sheriff's
was gonna
units.
Put on public surplus, we just transitioned that. Basically, it was just a swap
Okay.
of vehicles, yeah.
Yeah. And then Purple Wave contacted me last week. They're doing a big year-end auction, and they said it's usually has a good showing, and we're gonna put the landfill loaders on that auction. So
Okay.
we're preparing those.
So we're getting some stuff ready to go out. Perfect.
Okay?
Sounds good. Didn't we
And-
get didn't Rob buy 2 new small plows last year?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't we get those 2 new ones?
Yeah.
Because I thought that added to that fleet, and we didn't decommission anything else, or we just,
There's just a lot of them that are old, and plowing snow is hard on them.
oh, I know.
So it takes a lot of repairs to get them ready to go for the next season, so.
Okay. But we did add the 2, right?
Yes, we added 2.
Okay,
Uh-huh, sure did.
all right. Very good. And thank you for the information that you sent me on those needed on the roads, too.
Okay, you're
Appreciate
welcome.
that.
Any other questions?
Nope,
No?
Thank you.
Thank you.
thanks. Maybe we'll get to use those snow plows. I actually scraped snow yesterday. Did you? Yes, I did. Where were you at? Keystone. I got out of there as quick as I could. I wasn't either.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Attorney, do we need any executive session today?
We do not.
Okay. All right. Well, then, attorney's report.
Commissioners, as we kind of talked about, Don and I are working on those land use actions. We're getting that up and running. We also got our briefing schedule for our Leaf Properties dollar store case. Basically, their first brief is due about after Thanksgiving, and then our response brief's going to be due, I think, just after the new year. So, and then they'll have an opportunity for a reply. So that's kind of forward-looking, how that's going to work out. We've also got 2 trials next week and the following week on child protection matters. Right now, we're definitely going on the one next week, and then I think there's a decent chance the following week we'll go too. So I think I'm planning on kind of sitting in a second chair for our assistant county attorney on the first one, and then just because of the timing, I've been prepping for that next one. So I may not be here for the commissioners' meetings the next 2 weeks, just because I've got the court appearances. So we've been working on that. A lot of work always leading up to those. And then, we've all, like that EV charger code, I've just been kind of going through and trying to make sure we're addressing any of those requirements from the state in some way officially. So there'll probably be a handful more of those kinds of resolutions coming your way here as we get closer to the end of the year. Still participating in those air quality rulemaking meetings. Basically, I would say there's been a lot of working together and kind of conferral behind the scenes between the different parties. And so I think it's been a long process, but I think it's been I think we've gotten some good developments on that proposed rule, and so we'll continue to work together with Mel, our landfill manager, on kind of our position on how those things are developing. But my impression, not being the expert, is that it seems to be going fairly well from my perspective. And then just a lot of little odds and ends too. I know Travis and I have been working together on that Summit Foods proposed contract, so we'll get that sent back to them here shortly. But just a day-to-day, I think the big things on my calendar are the 2 trials, obviously, and then that Leaf Properties briefing. Any questions about any of those issues?
I have statements, but no questions, so I'll let it go.
Okay.
Thank you. Travis.
Commissioners, pretty busy week. Over the weekend, last weekend, I worked on trying to update a contract for the town of Dolores law enforcement services, trying to meet everybody's needs. And because they're going to obviously possibly only fund 1 position. So I sent back another, had some conversations with their town manager and sent back updated contract, we'll see where that lands. Had a Gaming Impact Committee meeting. I was appointed to that committee, and so I was a new kid on the block, end of year funding, so we'll see what happens next year. Had some conversations regarding Geotab. We're also going to send that information to our insurance carrier to see if we can get some insurance reductions. We'll be meeting with the courts on some new cameras and access systems at the courthouse. Had some phone calls and follow-up on some road and bridge concerns. I did drive a couple of the roads. I'll get with Stephen on the 39.5 road, see if there's an alternative on the plat for that. Drove those roads. Again, as Stephen said, a lot of time dedicated to the Summit Food Service contract. Received information the air gas is no longer functional or will not be functional after the first of the year in Dolores County. Won't directly affect us, but it will affect us on the backside, I believe. A lot of phone conversations and follow-up regarding the SNAP benefit loss. Just to clarify, that is not a local issue, that's a federal issue, so, but we are keeping up to date on that. Followed up, got information on the Kinder Morgan 10% reduction. And then just to keep the commissioners appraised, 8 priorities for CCI. They gave us 7. First is allow counties to publish legal notices in non-periodical newspapers, define EMS as an essential service. Third is ability for counties to enforce code violations, processes for human services fiscal notes, funding for county roads to state parks, revising the Child Welfare Prevention and Intervention Services Cash Fund, and finally, funding to implement Rule 31. So that was their 7 priorities. Any questions?
Nope.
I have none. Miss Purcell.
So I just wanted to kind of touch base with the public. There's been some questions about the 24-hour drop boxes and which ones are open and which ones are not. So currently, the 24-hour drop box at the county clerk's office is open and you can drop your ballot there, but all the rest of them, the City Hall in Minka, City Hall in Dolores, will not be open until next week, next Tuesday. So we do that because we have to send out people on a daily basis to collect ballots, so we're just waiting for a little bit to open those. So, but there's been some question about it as to what's open and what's not. So if you have any questions, give us a call. We're here.
All right, thank you, Kim. All right, Commissioner Copenhaver.
I don't have much to report this week, a few phone calls and stuff to that content, but otherwise haven't got much this week.
Okay. Commissioner Lindsay.
Like Commissioner Copenhaver said, didn't have much, few phone calls, few text messages. Did go to city council last week. We were there a while, but they didn't do much. A lot of discussion was had back and forth, but they did go ahead and accept a bid for the perimeter fence around the airport, wrote a letter of support for the historical structure assessment at Manaus School, passed a resolution accepting and adopting the City of Cortez Transportation Plan, and appointed a couple of their members to the Grant Selection Committee. And that's about all I have.
Okay, very good. I got to attend a Lincoln Day dinner over in Plata County where I was able to catch up with Congressman Hurd and his aide from Durango. I had some good conversations about the NCA, trying to capture them in between everybody else. But I think it's going to be more critical that we able to set up a meeting with his aide so that we can be able to talk to her. Right now, she can't leave for work because the government is shut down, but doesn't mean that we can't go to her or have conversations via Zoom or Teams. So I think that's something that we should maybe get a little bit more aggressive on. I did then go to a Colorado Fire Commission meeting yesterday. and this is more related to the volunteer services that are out there in the state of Colorado, specifically on the Eastern Plains, but I know that we have struggles here locally too. I know that Dolores has issues with getting people to volunteer, and it's really changed. You know, back in the day, I'll look at Commissioner Lindsay and we had more volunteers than we knew what to do with on a daily basis, and our numbers were always pretty high, but the numbers are struggling. And they were talking about the dissolution of actual districts, special districts over there. So the question is, you know, who takes that over? Does it turn into a model like New Mexico has, a county-wide fire district, or does it go to a statewide fire district? There's a lot of conversations and concerns, and specifically because the Eastern Plains has I-70, which has a lot of volume of traffic, and they have a lot of accidents on that roadway, and with nobody responding that's within a couple hours away, it makes it pretty challenging to the people that are injured. Anyway, more to come on that, but it did snow in Keystone yesterday morning. Woke up to about 3 inches of blowing and snowing, and but when I got out of there at 3 o'clock, the sun was shining and the roads were dry. So that's really all that I have to report. And we will have a traveling town hall tonight. It'll be at the county annex, 6 o'clock. So hope to see everybody there.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to adjourn this October 21st, 2025 meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.